Okay, we're going to walk through this question step by step. This is chapter 3, officially question 15 in the assess homework of chapter 3 in the My Econ Lab of Sullivan. So, coffee and cheese exchange in the PWA camp. Suppose that the British compound of prisoner of war camp, in the British compound of prisoner of war camp, the price of cheese is 12 cigarettes per cheese ration, and the price of coffee beans is 3 cigarettes per coffee ration. In the French compound, the price of coffee beans is 18 cigarettes per ration. So they're separate compounds, but it looks like down below, it looks like the question is the British prisoner can go to the French compound, and maybe vice versa too. So is there an opportunity for beneficial exchange? Yes, is the answer. It's interesting because you suspect maybe there is, because you have to kind of work it out, and the second part helps you work it out. So, even if you guess yes, benefits exchange, we're talking about this in this chapter. So say yes, and they say, yep, you're right. There is, and now we're going to prove it. Okay. So the British prisoner could exchange his cheese ration for 12 cigarettes. Okay. In the British compounds, he's got a cheese ration, and he trades it for 12 cigarettes because that's the going price in the British compound. Okay. Then he exchanged the cigarettes for 4 coffee rations in the same compound, because coffee beans is 3 cigarettes per coffee ration. So he has 12 cigarettes, so he can get 4. 3 times 4 is 12, right? So I have 12 cigarettes. It only cost me 3 cigarettes for 1 coffee ration, so that means I can get 4 coffee rations. So that's where they get the 4 there. So 12 cigarettes, 4 coffee rations in the British compound. Then he goes over to the French compound, and he exchanges the coffee for how many cigarettes? Well, he's got 4 rations of coffee, but in the French compound, you get 18 cigarettes per ration. So 18 times 4 is 72, right? When he returns to the British compound, he can exchange the cigarettes for 6 cheese rations, right? Because he's got 72 cigarettes. He goes back and he says, okay, I'm going to transfer all these into cheese rations again. But it's only 12 cigarettes per cheese ration. So 72 divided by 12, right? Because every one of those cheese rations cost him 12. So he spends 12 on the first one, and then 12 more. So 24 total on the second one, and then so on, all the way up to 72. He can get 6 cheese rations, right? So he had 1 to begin with before he started all this, and now he's got 6. So in other words, his net gain from the trade is 5 cheese rations. Okay, so hopefully that clears it up there. Let's go through the similar question. They're going to change the numbers on us, so we'll just walk through. We know that this is yes. There's an opportunity for exchange, for beneficial exchange. Okay, British prisoner could exchange his cheese rations for how many cigarettes in the British compound? 24 in this case, right? So 24, excellent, right? And then exchanges cigarettes for how many coffee rations? So he's got 24 cigarettes now, and there's 3 cigarettes per ration, so that is 8, right? So if he did 3 for 1, then he goes up to 6, that gets him 2, 9, that gets him 3, and so on. So 8 times 3 is 24, so I can have 8 coffee rations in the British compound. Okay? And then if he travels to the French compound, he could exchange the coffee for how many cigarettes? Well, he goes to it's 24 cigarettes per ration of coffee. He's got 8 coffee rations, right? So 24 times 8, I think, is what? 192? Let's see, make sure. 192, yeah. So he's got 192 cigarettes now, right? Because he went and traded his coffee for 192 cigarettes. That's a lot of cigarettes. Okay? And then he goes back to the British compound, where he can exchange the cigarettes for how many rations? Well, back in the British compound, it's 24 cigarettes per cheese ration. So he spends 24 on 1. If he gets 2, he gets 48, right? And all the way up to 192. So 192 divided by 24 is how you get it easier, right? Rather than walking through it that way. So 192 divided by 24, because it costs him 24 cigarettes for each ration. So how many rations can he get with 192? Well, that's 8. Okay, so 8 rations of cheese. And we check that answer, and that's correct. In other words, his net gain is what? Well, he had 1 ration to begin with. Now he's got 8, so his net gain is a total of 7, right? So he gained 7 more. And that should be